Coming up tonight on Middle Tennessee News, 2 children have lost their father after a fatal car accident in Murfreesboro this weekend.
2 bodies have been found in a Smyrna home.
And Murfreesboro Police Department are searching for a missing man.
All those stories, plus your local weather and sports, Middle Tennessee News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Cheyenne Avila.
And I'm Morgan Gonzalez. Welcome to Middle Tennessee News.
The father of 2 young children is dead today after a fatal car accident claimed his life. According to the Tennessee Highway Patrol, a man and his 2 children were backing out of their driveway onto Double Springs Road when they collided with a car traveling southbound at high speeds. Criminal charges will be issued to the speeding driver.
The Smyrna Police Department is seeking help with a homicide investigation. 2 bodies were found dead in Smyrna on Saturday. Police arrived on scene at 7021 Bridgewater Drive and found Andrew Geertz and Melissa Nail dead. Smyrna Police Department is investigating this as a homicide. They are asking anyone with residential cameras or with information regarding the deaths to contact the Smyrna Police Department.
The Murfreesboro Police Department is searching for a missing endangered man. Patrick Dylan Clark was last heard from on Friday, February 28th after making threats of harming himself. According to the Murfreesboro Police Department, the 30-year-old is still believed to be in the Murfreesboro area. He could possibly be staying at a local hotel. If you have seen this person, please call the number on your screen.
A Rutherford County woman was arrested for shooting her disabled mother in the face with a pellet gun rifle. Lisa Deaton shot her mother in the face while at their home because she would not go to sleep. The mother, Linda Deaton, suffers from dementia and is paralyzed from the waist down. Linda Deaton was treated by Emergency Medical Services and taken to St. Thomas Rutherford Hospital, and she was later admitted to Vanderbilt University Medical Center in Nashville. Rutherford County Sheriff's Office charged Lisa Deaton with willful abuse, neglect or exploitation of an adult, and tampering or fabricating evidence. Deaton was booked into Rutherford County Detention Center, where she is being held on a $50,000 bond.
More charges have been filed against the Middle Tennessee mule kick burglar. 35-year-old Robert Shigog of Murfreesboro has been charged with 16 additional counts of burglary, theft, and vandalism on top of the existing charges against him. Shigog has been accused of robbing various stores in at least 11 different Middle Tennessee cities. He is being held on bond at the Rutherford County Adult Detention Center while awaiting a hearing set for this Thursday in the General Sessions Court. According to Detective Brian Gonzalez, even more additional charges may be pending.
President Donald Trump has appointed Vice President Mike Pence in charge of the response to the coronavirus. Pence will take on the role of bringing together the Corona Task Force of professionals and doctors. He will report to Trump the best options for action. Trump said the #1 priority is the health and safety of American people and that the risk remains very low. 3 additional deaths have been confirmed in Washington state, bringing the total U.S. deaths to 6.
Still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, election season is here, and tomorrow citizens will have the chance to vote for the primaries.
And students from over 25 Middle Tennessee counties competed in the annual Tennessee History Day competition. That's coming up next on Middle Tennessee News.
Dear humans, this is an adoption campaign, but it's not for me, or Mr. Buttons, or Frank over there. It's for you, humans. This is a call to humans to adopt our movement, to adopt our cause.
This isn't just about saving one of us.
It's about saving all of us.
Nearly 4,100 lives every single day.
It's about support for every one of us and sometimes not four-legged best friends waiting to meet a best friend of our own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge.
Shelter by shelter, city by city.
We can make this entire country no-kill. Join us. Together we can save them all.
Us. It's what this country is made of. A helping hand, a shoulder to lean on. Different voices.
Hello.
One sacred bond. But right now, that bond is fraying. Where do we find common ground? How do we get back to us? The why fills the gaps and bridges our divides. Now, more than ever, the why needs your support. Because where there's a why, there's an us. For a better us, support your local why today.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. Election season is here, and tomorrow, citizens will have the chance to vote for the primaries. March 3rd is the presidential preference primary election. Polls open at 7 a.m. at the Rutherford County Election Commission. Along with the presidential primary, Rutherford County has their own primary election where residents can vote for the highway superintendent, property assessor, and the county commission of District 10. Residents in this county are required to bring a valid government-issued ID when they vote, and the polls will close at 7 o'clock that evening.
Rutherford County schools will be closed Tuesday, March 3rd for Super Tuesday. The county tweeted on Monday to remind parents about school closings. Voters are allowed to vote at any of the 28 polling sites, which include numerous schools located throughout the county. Super Tuesday is the day that most states hold voting for presidential nominees. And to find a voting precinct near you, you can just visit election.rutherfordcountytn.gov.
Students from over 25 Middle Tennessee counties gathered at MTSU last Friday for the Middle Tennessee History Day competition. Hosted by the Tennessee Historical Society, the annual event holds contests at the state, regional, and district levels. Middle and high school students compete in a number of categories that are judged by university professors, students, and community partners. Each project showcases details about historical Tennessee events. The goal is to represent Tennessee in the National History Day competition, which takes place every June.
This is a matter of them taking historical research that is not just a memorization of historical trivia or facts, but applying that and interpreting that to create a story, right? Not the story, but it's a matter of what we call historical thinking skills.
To close Black History Month, McMinnville announced the opening of the Black History Museum of Warren County with a town hall event at Mangness Public Library. To begin the event, Museum Director Wayne Wolford Sr. joined fellow author James Mickey Gwynn for a book signing, where attendees were able to purchase books from local Black authors. Memorabilia from the museum was on display, as well as a photo reel of antique family photos, to give attendees a sense of what the museum would look like upon completion. The board announced that the museum would be located at 203 West Main Street before Mayor Ben Newman took the podium.
The family-friendly show is a one-act adaptation of the Disney film. The show will have 4 public performances, the Frozen show, and will also be shown in schools. Perry Watson is the director of the show, and the music director is Robert Ayers. The last day of the Frozen performances will be Saturday, March 7th at the Arts Center of Cannon County. Tickets are available on the Arts Center of Cannon County website, and discounts are offered for students, seniors, and groups. Frozen Junior is the first of the center's Young at Art series of performances this season.
Former South Bend mayor and potential Democratic Party presidential nominee Pete Buttigieg has suspended his campaign. Buttigieg announced his campaign suspension on Saturday in front of supporters and husband Chasten Buttigieg. Although Buttigieg finished in the top 4 each contest, he states his reason for dropping out is to promote unity.
We must recognize that at this point in the race, the best way to keep faith with those goals and ideals is to step aside and help bring our party and our country together.
Buttigieg did not endorse any specific fellow Democratic runners. Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, and Elizabeth Warren now remain as the top runners in the Democratic primary.
And Morgan will be back after the break with your full weather forecast.
Every day, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all.
I forgot
The few, the proud
about the intro.
Marines.
No, I forgot about the intro. So I started reading because I got nervous because it wasn't up yet. The slot was there. And then I didn't see the intro. So I'm sitting here like, I didn't see the freaking intro. And so
they say that the devil's workshop.
I covered my butt.
And the whole block is me.
But give idle hands a place to go, a purpose, and they're capable of amazing things.
From Iraq and Afghanistan, our brave warriors are coming home, wounded. Some with wounds you can see, some with wounds you can't see. Wounded Warrior Project was created to support our men and women coming off the battlefield. Please help carry these warriors the rest of the way home. Get involved at woundedwarriorproject.org.
It started with the original care package, and millions more like it. Passed from hand to hand, across land and sea, to help survivors in the aftermath of war. As we grew, we found better ways to help those in need. Ways to make a real difference, not just today, but tomorrow as well. Be the difference in people's lives. Help deliver lasting change at care.org.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. As we get closer and closer to the start of the spring season, the temperatures are starting to warm up and the rain is starting to pick up. Today we had a high of 60 degrees, but with cloudy skies and occasional showers, humidity levels in the mid-80s and wind speeds of about 11 miles per hour, it definitely felt cooler than 60 degrees. As we move into our evening, the low will go down just a few degrees to about 57, and the storms will continue with scattered thunderstorms increasing in occurrence as the night goes on. Wind speeds will stay around the 8 to 12 mile per hour range and humidity levels will reach 91%. And as for our 5-day forecast, tomorrow the temperatures will be warming up just a little bit with a high of 63, a low of 43, and some early morning showers. Wednesday will probably be one of the more ideal days this week. Even with mostly cloudy skies, we will have a comfortable high of 62 degrees and a low of 43. Don't start putting away the rain boots and warm jackets just yet, though, because the temperatures will begin to drop and the rain will be coming back again starting on Thursday, with a high of only 54 degrees and a low of 38, and a little bit of rainy skies. We will get to end our week on Friday with mostly sunny skies, however, but the temperatures will continue to drop with a high of only 50 and a chilly low of 30. That's all for your full weather forecast. Coming up after the break, William will join us in the MTN Sports Den for all things Middle Tennessee sports. Stay tuned.
You're a freaking queen.
Idle hands.
That was so... To see you grow from last year to this year...
God, do you remember my very first weather thing?
They say that the devil's workshop.
That was so funny.
No, seriously. Like, you have grown so much. I'm proud of you.
But give idle hands a place to go, a purpose, and they're capable of amazing things.
From Iraq and Afghanistan, our brave warriors are coming home, wounded. Some with wounds you can see, some with wounds you can't see. Wounded Warrior Project was created to support our men and women coming off the battlefield. Please help carry these warriors the rest of the way home. Get involved at woundedwarriorproject.org.
It started with the original care package, and millions more like it. Passed from hand to hand, across land and sea, to help survivors in the aftermath of war. As we grew, we found better ways to help those in need. Ways to make a real difference, not just today, but tomorrow as well. Be the difference in people's lives. Help deliver lasting change at care.org.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. Murphy Center was open late Saturday night for a double overtime win for the Lady Raiders. Western Kentucky kept it close, but Middle Tennessee came out on top in the Glass House, finishing with a score of 108-103. The leading scorer for the Lady Raiders was Anastasia Hayes with 37, followed closely by her sister Aislinn with 25. The Hayes sisters combined for more than half of MT's total points and now shift their attention to North Texas, who they'll take on March 5th at home. Adams Tennis Complex was reigning wins for MTSU on Friday, February 28th. The men started off the day with a 4-0 win against UAB, followed by a side-by-side win with the women's team against UAPB. This was the 5th straight win for the women. Their next match will be March 11th against Southern University. The men then traveled to New Jersey to battle it out with number 24 Princeton, where their talents were finally matched. Princeton came out on top with a final of 4-1, and their next matchup will be with Rice in Houston on March 13th. The Lady Raiders softball team competed in the Madeira Beach tournament last weekend down in Florida. They won all 6 of their games they played in, and they also they also beat Sacred Heart in a high-scoring win with a final of 17-2. MT softball was originally supposed to have a doubleheader on Tuesday at Alabama State, but that matchup has been canceled due to inclement weather. That means that a weekend series with Western Kentucky is next up for the Lady Raiders. That series will start March 6th in Bowling Green. We're coming off of an upsetting week for MTSU baseball, losing all 4 games they played in. The Blue Raiders started with a 6-12 loss to the Crimson Tide down in Tuscaloosa. Then they traveled over to New Orleans for a series against Tulane. That was a dry-scoring game with just a final of 0-2, but the next day was a close battle that was tied 5-5 going into the bottom of the 9th, but Tulane closed out with a walk-off homer. Game 3 was a 7-11 loss, which leaves MTSU looking ahead to their next matchup at home on March 3rd against Lipscomb. The last road game was the last road loss of the season for men's basketball. The Blue Raiders fell to Rice and remain in last with only 2 games left in conference play. Their record sits at 7-22, and their next game will be Wednesday, March 4th against UTEP here in the Glass House. Don Barger was just let go as the head coach of boys basketball at Stewart's Creek. Barger will not be returning for a 4th season with Stewart's Creek, but will continue teaching through the school year. Barger had an overall record of 26-61 with Stewart's Creek and was also the first female boys basketball coach in Rutherford County. Stewart's Creek was just eliminated from postseason play last week by Riverdale. The Kobe Bryant three-point contest was held at MTSU Rec Center this past Thursday. The contest was a tribute to the Laker legend who passed away in a tragic helicopter accident alongside his daughter, Gianna. The crash affected not only those in California, but also those around the globe. Middle Tennessee students filled the MTSU Rec Center to show their respects to Kobe and Gianna in an event that lasted for 3 hours. There was lots of competition, but one student was able to withstand all the competition, winning his own pair of black and blue Kobe's.
I might not look like it, but I was a big basketball person. I was always trash at it, but I always try to play my best. I didn't really care.
And that's all for sports tonight. Check back Wednesday for a preview of this week's Blue Raider action. I'm William Stevenson here in the MTN Sports Den. Back to you.
Thanks, William. And wrapping up our show tonight, Lake Erie residents in western New York woke up to an icy surprise this weekend. Hamburg, New York is used to cold weather conditions, but ice storms coating the entire exterior of homes is something most residents have never seen before. These photos were found online and look like a real-life version of the movie Frozen. While the images are extravagant, this storm could cause structural damages to the homes affected. The ice has started melting, but residents are hoping for an emergency declaration and for this type of occurrence to never happen again. Thank you for joining us in Middle Tennessee News. I'm Cheyenne Avila.
And I'm Morgan Gonzalez. If you missed this or any show, you can watch them on our website, middletennesseenews.net.
Make sure to follow us on our social media sites as well, Facebook/Middle Tennessee News or at Middle Tennessee News on Twitter.
We'll see you Wednesday at 5 p.m.